What's the status regarding open sourcing Holepunch?
So for Holepunch, we're basically in the process of documenting all our building blocks, documenting all the pieces that makes the things go together. If you ever heard anything me and Paul ever said, we're very big into modularity. That also means we have a ton of modules, we have a ton of tools, there's tons of things we want to document and get out to people. The first batch of that documentation, which is covering the core building blocks, is about to be done. We're going to release that in the coming weeks. Very soon, so you can dive in and you can see how all the things work together for Holepunch. That's the core building blocks for the peer-to-peer engine. So that's things like Hypercore, that's things like Hyperdrive, Hyperswarm, which we'll go into more detail about, and all our tooling we build around that. And we'll do a continuous stream as things get documented and done of everything over the next time, and we'll put it up on our central documentation site we're building. So there's like one stop for you as developers or people who are interested to see all the open source things and how everything fits together.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the kit is not the final end goal for us, right? So Kit is a beautiful product, but we actually are spending all this energy to showcase the Holepunch platform. And although, of course, we want to make sure that you see the inner parts of Kit, it's even more important that you have access to the same building blocks, that you have access to the cryptography part, you have access to the peer-to-peer part, the hole punching, the swarming, and so on, and all these primitives, right, that make Kit available. So we want to make, so you know that how in crypto and in Bitcoin world you say don't trust, verify, and that's exactly the point. You should be able to get a deep dive into the code base, every single part, right, every single primitive and feature, so that you understand how exactly it works. The beauty of the modularity that Matthias was describing is that it's not a huge cathedral with millions of lines of code that are all put together and with rubber and bands. Every single functionality is well segregated in a specific GitHub repository with its own documentation, and is fairly contained in the number of lines, right? So you can dig into it. You can use it independently from the other parts of the code. That is what makes modularity so important. It's improved the auditability of the code base. It's improved the stability, the ability for us and for you to maintain your own application. So this is not something that, by the way, was created in the last few months. This is a work that lasted 5, 6, 7 years to build all these building blocks and to iterate on them, right? So Hypercore went through many different iterations over the last several years. Same Hyperswarm and all the other parts. And then you have, so the beauty of this documentation is that it's divided in 3 things. You have the building blocks, as Matthias said. Then you have, so that is basically all those modules that makes application be available. Then you have the tools. That is the second part, is more complex application, system tools, utilities that you might want to use and might want to experiment on, like proxies or SSH on top of Hyperswarm and so on.
Keet.io, private encrypted P2P chats. Download Keet now.